organization. We're looking at a totally different theory than when Theo was there. And I've always had respect for Dave Dombrowski, but I got to tell you, he's made some really questionable moves since taking over the Red Sox. They've traded like almost their whole farm system away, except for Benintendi and a few other good prospects. But for the most part, the last 3 years, the Red Sox have traded more prospects than any other team in baseball. And if the Red Sox don't get onto that, that's going to bite them in the ass down the road. And that's going to be squarely on the head of Dave Dombrowski. Like I said, to be the Yankee batters, you got to get them out. You're not going to out-hit them. You got to get them out. And I know you were last in home runs last year. I know that. And it's tough to compete in the American League East and be last in the whole American League in home runs. But you did it last year. And all these players are progressing. All of them. Except for Pedroia and Mitch over there first. It's still a pitcher's league, even though we're putting up these big video game numbers, folks. To win the AL East, you got to have the best pitching. Right now, the Yankees do have the best pitching. It doesn't matter about home runs and all these runs and hits. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's still going to come down to pitching. I figure loosely in my head, the Yankees have picked up about 8 wins since the season ended. And what has Boston done to counter that? They've done nothing. They signed Moreland and they offered JD a lot of money. And they're looking at the trades for more bats. That ain't gonna cut it, Boston. You're listening to the Jake Robinson Sports Experience live out of Pawleys Island, South Carolina, 30 miles south of Myrtle Beach, a beautiful island right on the Atlantic Ocean. And if you're ever in the area, you got to come check out the Snake, man. It is just beautiful down here. Coming out of the palatial Robinson Gearing Studios. I'm on iHeart, I'm on iTunes, Google Play, Twitter, Let's Talk Baseball fan page on Facebook. I mean, you can find the Snake anywhere. DiamondSnakeJake@gmail.com. I hide from no one. So, look, you got questions, you want to find me, you want to become part of the Let's Talk Baseball family, by all means, get your nasty ass in here and get on some of this. Get some. The Jake Robinson Sports Experience rolls on. What is up, people? I have missed you. I've missed doing this. I've missed talking to you. So, and because I missed you, and quite honestly, because nothing pretty much happened in the last week since the last time I talked to you guys, I decided to open the mailbag, and the response was overwhelming. I want to thank all of you for giving me 10 hours of homework to do. I appreciate that. But I ain't complaining, because that's what your boy Jake the Snake does. He gets it done for you. The most beautiful fans in the world, the greatest of them all. Bunch of stinking geniuses you are. And look, I got your hookup. Holler if you hear me. Half man, half podcast machine. It's your boy Jake the Snake. So I sent out the mailbag, and like I said, I got overwhelmed. And we're going to dig into them. And look, we probably couldn't have picked a better week to do it because, you know, other than the Randall Grichuk trade, Darvish was offered another, I don't know. The Brewers are, the scuttlebutt is the Brewers have offered Darvish a contract, and, you know, it's the same shit with the Yankees. You ain't signing nothing. I don't know who to trust. All I know is there's 130 players still out there. Now, what's today's date? Today is the 23rd of January, 2018. Pitchers and catchers report in 21 days. Nah, but there's no collusion. You're right. There's just 130 free agents sitting out there that ain't getting the money that, you know, that they earned. There ain't no collusion. You're absolutely right. All right, I'm going to stay away from this collusion because, look, I don't have time to do yoga and Lotus on the air this week. I got to get right into it because I got a lot of stuff here. So we're going to go into the Jake Robinson mailbag here. And what do we got? Let me see it. Wait a minute. This looks like a suspicious package. Wait a minute. I hear something ticking inside of it. Okay, I'm going to throw this one in the trash can. Who was that from anyway? There, let me see the name on there. It's ticking. You hear it? There's something ticking inside that box. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that was sent to me by Jorge Huertas. Okay, I don't trust that package. Throw that in the trash can and put the trash can outside. In fact, do me a favor. Take that trash can about 500 feet away from the house. There's something ticking inside that box. All right, do I got to call a SWAT team in here? I don't know what the hell Jorge is sending me. I know you're angry about the Mets, man, but, you know, don't take it out on me, brother. All right, okay, what else is in here? I got all kinds of stuff in here. I mean, it's just all kinds of, let me see. Here's one, look. My man, Robbie Mack, out of my hometown of Owella, Maryland. He's going to start the Jake Robinson Sports Experience up. He sent me a question. He said, look, our durability with our staff injuries have decimated the Mariners recently. Is that because of poor conditioning? And realistically speaking, who do you see the Mariners getting to shore up the rotation? Well, look, the Mariners is another team that we haven't talked about much on here. And look, now that the Buffalo Bills and Brian Moore can, dance around naked because they made the playoffs this year, the Mariners have now become the longest reigning sport in American sports to not make the playoffs. And they are desperate to break that streak this year. Now, GM Jerry Dipoto, he came over from the Anaheim Angels, and when he did, he inherited a mess of a farm system. The Mariners have gone out and they've gotten Juan Nicasio, 2 years, $17 million deal. And now they have, on that back end of that bullpen, they got David Phelps, Edwin Diaz, Juan Nicasio. And look, I don't think that that's too bad. Edwin Diaz had a breakout year last year. I'm looking at the Mariners, and they got this Rule 5 kid, Mike Ford, that they took from the Yankees. And they also picked up a couple catchers in the Rule 5 draft. Now, Mike Ford, 25-year-old left-hander. And one of the things that I found intriguing about this kid, looking at his minor league records, he has walked more than he has struck out. I mean, in his minor league career, he has walked more than he struck out. Now, once I saw that, I really didn't look too much at the average and a lot of that other stuff. They were good, but they weren't overwhelming. I'm looking at the fact that the kid walks and he doesn't strike out. I like that a lot. It's very rare in a ballplay that you find that. So that may translate to the major league game. And with Mike Ford, he's a first baseman. I told you a couple weeks ago that the Mariners got Ryan Healy from the Oakland A's. So your first thought is, are you going to have a first base platoon over there with Ford and Healy? And I'm not so sure. I think Ford is going to be used sparingly, and I think Healy is going to be your everyday first baseman. Healy's going to be taking over for Yonder Alonso, who signed a 3-year deal with the Cleveland Indians about 3 weeks ago. Now, I think Mike Ford also may have some versatility in his game. They're saying he could be a backup if, say, like a Nelson Cruz gets hurt in the outfield. They should be able to stick him out there in a pinch. Now, that's the lineup, young portion of it, the bullpen that I'm looking at. They certainly cannot rest on what they have. They can't rest their laurels on what they have. I mean, they still need a little work. You're absolutely right. In that bullpen, in that rotation. And you're banking on David Phelps. I mean, he had an injury-riddled 2017. They absolutely need him to be healthy. And look, when I look at the Mariners, and you guys may hear me say this all the time on the show, the math ain't right. The math ain't right. Or the math is right. That works. Well, maybe some of you don't quite know what I mean when I say that. There's all kinds of mathematical formulations that you can, try to get a grasp on where you project some guys, where you project the team. I don't claim to be a sabermetrics analyst kind of person.
Look at these people. Everyone at this company clinically depressed. Everyone here is hanging by a
but
snap at any moment.
I am someone who has a basic understanding of what it takes for a major league team to have some success in the season. And one of the mathematical equations that I always like to use is 162 times 9. And 162 is, of course, that's the total games you play in a year, and 9 is the innings you play. Now, sometimes you may play more. There's extra inning games. Sometimes you may play a little less because, at the end of 8 2/3, you're on the road and the home team has gotten your third out. The game is over. So, 9 is a realistic number. So I usually go 162 times 9, and that comes out to roughly about 1,450. Now, that's how many innings that you need your pitchers on your rotation to span across the next season. If you ain't got 1,450 innings after doing the math on your rotation and your bullpen, you're coming up woefully short. And your chances of being successful are not very good. Now, look, I'm not a mathematics major, but I play one on the podcast, and I'm telling you, it's a proven system. 162 times 9. And when I look at the Mariners, when I look at that rotation, when I look at that bully, 162 times 9, and the Mariners come up woefully short. Woefully short. So, if I'm the Mariners, I got to look at this as long as the math on the production and costs, as long as that works out, maybe they go after a Jeremy Hellickson type guy. I mean, I just don't see mathematically why you would want to go after a Yu Darvish or a Jake Arrieta. I don't think that you need that kind of money on your payroll. I think you can find someone that, middle, back of the end rotation, Jeremy Hellickson kind of guy. I mean, when I look at your rotation, I'm looking at Paxton, Hernandez, Leake, Erasmo Ramirez. So maybe you don't need like a Yu or a Darvish. Maybe you can just kind of plug a guy in there. And look, you and I both know, Robbie, that there is a risk to this. But the cost should make it certainly more palatable for the Seattle Mariners. I mean, look, the Mariners are dead last as far as ranking the farm system are concerned by Baseball America. So the thought of a pitcher coming through there to help you is, well, it's futile. I mean, your best arm in the system is 19 years old, and it's Sam Carlson, second round pick in the 2017 draft. And look, he's already having arm issues. So he's about 3.5, 4 years away, and he's already having arm issues.